Hey guys, today here I'm with David J, directly
Hello.
from France. And David, first of all, thank you very much for your time here. I know we don't have much time, so we have to rush through the questions, but I'm glad that you make it, and I'm glad you're just so generous to be here with us. David, I tell you what, why don't you start explaining a little bit about yourself, what you do, and
Okay, I've got two, as I say, I got two gigs. The first gig is I sell training, continued education training for speech therapists in France.
Speech therapist. Can you say what a speech therapist is?
Okay, a speech therapist is usually a woman, in France at least.
Yes. So you know your avatar, right?
Yeah, the woman who will fix people who have a stroke, a brain stroke, and they can't talk anymore. That's called aphasia. We fix this.
Yes.
We also cure is a big word, but deal with children with dyslexia.
Yes.
Like deaf children.
They have difficulty to learn or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, get it? Yeah.
Learning disorders in general. And deaf people, and many things that are related to communication disorders. Okay?
Yeah.
Anything that impairs communication goes to see a speech therapist.
And you are a speech therapist
Yes,
yourself.
I am. I am part of the 3% males.
Yes, the 3% that is speech. Those should not be a bad thing on the past, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if your wife may like it too much though, right? No, just kidding.
She was okay.
But how did actually this is a pretty traditional business. And the question is, how do you actually leverage that business using online marketing? Because I know you, I know you're very successful marketing, online marketing guy. And how did you actually? How do you actually use the internet to actually leverage that business?
Okay, I've got two magic powers.
Okay.
The first one is I do video, and I've got my very own ways of doing video, which you know of because you use them.
Yes.
And
for example, one of the techniques that we used on the launch of the Insider, Digital Insider, which we call Vipsy, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So
it's a bad name, I know.
It's something created by him, but yeah, tell me. So you use video?
Yeah, I use video. That's my first secret, and I do video that I make sure that people watch till the end.
Yes.
That's my signature thing. And the other thing is product launches. I do product launches which works like magic, as you know too.
Okay, yes, I do know. But tell me, what was the last product you launched?
The last product I launched
online, right?
Online.
Just online. So it's an info product.
Do you want me to talk about the last product of mine that I launched?
Yes.
Or the last product of someone else that I launched?
No, I know that you got into another level. Let's start with yours, right?
Okay. My last product was a 6 DVD set for speech therapists to learn how to better fix bad swallowing conditions.
So you're teaching, speech therapists new techniques, right?
Yeah.
And why is that? Why are you teaching speech therapists something? Why do you do that? Don't they learn that on the university?
Oh yes, they do, but it's science. It's ever changing, ever evolving, and new things come up, and better ways of doing things come up, and they got to learn. They got to keep up to date.
Nice.
So
and how did you actually? How was that launch? Did you?
This launch, the last one, happened to be my best ever for one launch.
Yes.
So I was actually abroad when I did it.
Yes.
That was the fun part.
You were in the US, right?
I was in the US. I was here. I was in Arizona.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. And so while I was launching it, I didn't know it would end up being my best ever. We sold over 600 copies in a little bit over 10 days.
So 10 days, 600 copies.
Yeah.
What is the gross revenue?
The gross revenue was 128,000 euros.
128,000 euros on an info product.
Yeah.
On 10 days.
Yeah.
Right, that's pretty awesome.
And
on the speech therapist niche,
yeah,
it's not
5,500 people on the list.
How many people on the list? 5,000 people, right?
A little bit over 5,000.
Wow, this is great. And and I know you're doing very great in your. Would you be able to tell your website, your speech therapist website, so people? I know not people speak French, but it's always good to be able to.
Yeah, people are going to have a surprise because my website is very hardcore direct marketing. That is, if you're the landing page, the main page.
Yes.
When you go there, you go to autoformation.com.
www.autoformation.
ORTHOFORMATION.
Yes.
.com.
And you do that in English or in French?
It's in French.
Nice.
Depending on the times, it will either redirect you to the ongoing launch.
Yes.
Or to the main page of the site, which says, this site is for speech therapists only. Please leave now. Or enter your email address to make sure you are a speech therapist.
That's typical David J, guys. He used the takeaway thing, which is, man, if you're not speech therapist, just go away. I've been thinking about doing that on my digital insight, or if you're not an entrepreneur and if you just leave. But yeah, learning. Does that work?
I've had 98% sign-up rate for this page. Because, of course, no one who's not a speech therapist goes to that page. So, and people, when you tell them, this is a private club, you can't go in unless you can, they want to come in. They do.
They do, yeah. I sent some emails saying, please don't share this with anybody else. That's the emails that get most shared, right?
Yeah, of course.
And now you have this successful business. All the sales, at least this 128,000, if I'm not mistaken, done online, 10 days. It's great. Margins are great, I suppose.
Oh, yeah. Margins are really great.
It probably didn't start like that. And then how does the speech therapist end up, selling so much online? How did you start? Can you actually tell? Because a lot of people there on digital are insiders. They see people like really successful, but they are really interested in it. Tell me, how did they actually made it?
Okay. I can share my story if you want. I think it's interesting for your people because I cycled between online and offline multiple times during the building. And here's the thing. I got my kickstart.
Offline, you mean by you doing the offline?
Direct mail, like sending letters.
Letters, okay, good. Yeah. And online is what we do, right? Okay, good.
That's it. And I got my kickstart online.
Yeah.
Because I had managed to build a small list, but which was very responsive to the idea of being able to have training DVDs in that field.
When you say small list, would you be able
600.
So you have 600 subscribers, yeah?
Yeah. That was
not huge, not 5,000, right? Okay.
That was the result of what I would call a holy shit moment.
Yes, we guys, I've gotta explain this a little bit. Yeah. Sometimes in life we marketers within my group and within people that I know, we call it the holy shit moment, which is basically where everything is alright, and suddenly you get this one piece of information.
You get clear.
You get clear, then you just say, "Holy shit!" And everything changes after, and there are some big results.
I remember this perfectly. I was online looking at
your holy
a video.
Shit moment?
I was looking Jeff Walker's video for the launch of Product Launch Formula back in 2006, I think.
Yes.
And he was hammering on the importance of building a list. And all of a sudden I got clear, I got focused, I knew how I was going to actually do it instead of just thinking about doing it. I had this idea of writing a PDF, a call to the speech therapist, explaining my idea and my skills and what was the idea, and asking them to go to a survey and then making the survey go viral, because when they filled the survey, the thank you email that they got asked them to send the survey to all their colleagues. Okay, that is how I got 600 emails in 3 weeks.
Okay, so you have zero,
starting with
nada.
One name.
Yes, you have zero, nada. You were starting and you were just a speech therapist.
Yeah.
And then I'm just like recollecting to see if I understood. Then you say, hey,
I really gotta do that list building thing.
List building thing, and then you say, "Holy shit, I'm gonna write." And you wrote a PDF. Do you remember what was the headline of the PDF?
Oh, dear colleague.
Dear colleague, yes.
Yeah, it was very important. That was my way of opening the door. I sent it on the paper with my my practice office paper, you know?
Yes.
My regular paper as a speech therapist. So it was, okay, this is a colleague writing to me. And my opening was clever, actually. My opening was, dear colleague, no, I'm not writing to you to ask for a patient's file.
Yes. Because that's what they expect.
You can
right?
be like, it's not a colleague asking me for a file of a patient.
Yes, yes.
But I have a question to ask you.
And the question is?
The question was to go fill the survey. I then told my story,
go there and
the call to action was, go to this URL online, fill the survey.
Yes,
and of course they had to enter their email address.
Then you had a squeeze page before?
No.
The survey captured the email.
Yeah, the survey captured the email.
And then at the end you say, hey, thank you very much for filling the survey. I wish you share. You just ask them to share the survey.
The survey put them into an autoresponder, which sent them a thank you email with the PDF attached and telling them to forward this email to all their friends. To their colleagues.
Just to say, autoresponder is just like when you, for example, in ClickMail, when you get on a list and you went to mensagens.
That's an autoresponder.
Yes. Yeah, and then there's mensagens automáticas that mean sending some automatic messages, and then people would share. Why would they let it share?
Because they are responsive. Because I gave them hope in the possibility. My idea was something new, you know? It was the possibility to have continued professional training without leaving your home.
Okay.
Because they are women, they hate driving, they hate canceling their appointments with patients for days. And all of this adds up, you know? Yes. So the idea of saying them, I can do this on DVD and have it sent to you, and so you can watch it on the TV instead of going out and canceling all your patients' appointments and so on. And they were into the idea, and the call to action.
Said, holy.
Yeah. And the call to action was, if you are into this idea, here is how you can help. Forward this email with the attachment. Forward the attachment to all your colleagues.
Okay, good. And then you had the 600 mostly women on your list. Yeah. Right? And what happened next?
And then I did a launch.
And then you did a launch, which is, like product launch.
And I thought I would do like 8,000 euros at best. And I did 3 times that. I did 24,000 on my first ever launch. I sold 180 copies of the product.
Yes.
Plus 40% of them took the upsell, which was pre-ordering the next products to come.
Yeah, so this just like, for me to explain, the upsell is like an offer which is made right after. You know, a lot of people, I upsold, like ClickMail to a lot of people that came into the Digital Insider say, here's, you sign up for this thing, and I believe that there's this other thing that can help you.
Yeah.
And, upselling is a way of growing your business, and I'm going to be talking about how to. There's rights or wrong in upselling, so hold on a second there. But
don't do stupid thing with upsells.
Definitely. What as at the top of your head, how much more revenue do you get by upselling? Do you?
On this first launch, I remember it perfectly because it was an insane number. It was 40% of the total revenue.
Of the people. So if you're
40% of the people and of the revenue.
End of the revenue. So ladies, guys, this is an insider tip. So if you're not upselling, most of the people are not upselling, right? And there's all sorts of reasons why it's that. It may be technical, maybe they just don't know. But it's one tip that increasing 40% of the revenue in his case. In my case, more about 35%. So I would encourage you to start thinking about this word upsell. Thanks, Jay. And then, holy shit, you get a business, right? And I suppose you're growing and growing. Now you're not selling 24,000.
I was like, I've got 600 names.
Yes.
But a third of them bought my products, so I'm not going. And many of them bought the next products
which wasn't done.
Yeah, which wasn't done. So I had to find a way to grow the list. Yes. And the thing is, at the time, I was the Speech Therapist Association president called me and was like, "What are you doing with this PDF? And stop that!" And I was stupid, so I did stop.
Okay.
I would not now, but At the time I did. And so I had to find another way to get my leads.
Okay.
And so speech therapy, the snail mail address, the real mail address is easy
like
to get.
The house of the person.
Yeah, they are very easy to compile. So that's what I did.
How do you do
I sent.
How do you compile the?
You just build a script using Outwit Hub for Firefox,
good.
which crawls the web and gets all the addresses.
That's pretty advanced stuff, right? But yeah, so you got the list.
Yeah, I managed doing it. I could have gone to a list broker and bought it, you know. Sure. But I knew I could do it myself, so I did it myself. So I sent physical mails for the next and for the current one.
So you send a letter to their house?
Yeah, it's all like gangbusters because I had an average. If I remember well, the average conversion rate on the physical mail was 12.9%.
So 12.9% of everyone. So for every 100 people that got your letter,
12.9 bought the product.
Bought it straight away.
Straight away.
So the letter. It's a letter with copyright, and they drive them to online page.
Yeah.
They fill up the information and buy.
I had two processes. One which took them online, because my goal was to get the email address.
Yeah.
I got another one which was direct sale.
Okay.
They could fill another form and buy. 12.9 was the direct sales. Okay, and so I had 11,000 addresses. So that makes up lots of sales. Yeah, and I also hired the product prices before I started this campaign. I started selling it for $47, 47 euros, and I ended up selling it for 97.
Yes.
So
this is also a great example of fusion market where he actually is not like just he using online marketing techniques or direct marketing techniques, so sending letters to real addresses and driving them back to the internet to list build and to sell, to make money. And it's amazing, huh?
I can tell you what I did to grow my list to 5,000 because that was done in like 3 weeks.
So you grow your list from what to what?
From 600 to 5,000.
In 3 weeks?
Yeah.
How did you do that?
I sent a direct mail piece, which was a teaser for my PLC one for the next launch.
Okay, so he sent a direct mail piece, which is a letter which is a letter which requires a direct response, right?
Yeah.
So
and the direct response is to go visit this site.
Go visit this site.
And the site says, you're not a speech therapist, get lost.
The site says, if you're not a speech therapist, I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
And what else did it was a teaser.
That's it. It was a teaser for a video, a very, very useful piece of content that I couldn't make them like, I want to see this.
Yes, we call that
a bribe.
A bribe or a pre-launch content one. So we call PLC one, but great. And David, this is so great. And I know we are running out of time, and I apologize for that, but I really have to ask one more question.
Yep.
If you now have a great reputation. Within speech therapies, you are like doing a lot. You actually created stuff from zero. You're 600 list with a survey, then 5,000 with a pre-launch content video. It's a great achievement. And now you have a reputation. Things are easier for you. Now I hear that some people are now coming to you to launch their products, right?
Yeah, that's the latest launch I did was not my product.
So basically, you don't have even to create products because people are coming. So your positioning is right there. You're being seen as a position.
I only had to think the marketing.
And I can see you mentioned as well that you raise your prices, because when you raise your prices is a sign of your great position. This is great. But now, if you had to start from bloody scratch, that means if I would take everything from you except from your knowledge.
Okay.
And I would put you, take your friends, take your reputation,
take everything. I gotta
even put you
start from scratch again.
What would you do?
Okay.
Or maybe there's a different edge for this one. So if you could, like in the Back to the Future film, if you could step into the Delaware, get into the car, go back in time, and speak to yourself.
To myself. Okay, do not let yourself influenced by the Speech Therapy Association president. keep your viral PDF going.
Okay.
That would be my thing, because I might be like 4 times bigger now if I had not stopped.
So there's a lot of times that people would try to stop you because they don't understand what you're doing. They didn't
understand what I was doing. He literally told me on the phone this. What are you doing? You cannot do this.
Yes.
You cannot do this. And I was not clever enough to answer him, of course I can. Look, I am doing it.
Yes. Try to stop me. Yes. And the last, what is your number one tip for these folks out there? You know, if you can tell anything, one tip.
Build a list.
Build a list.
Build a list, meet people, get in the groove inside your business, you know. Meet people, don't try to convince them.
Yeah.
But meet people and get a feel for those who are already in your line of thought, business-wise.
Yes.
Okay? And then apart from this, on the customer conversion side, build a list. And don't just say, yes, I got to build a list. Do it. Start now.
Yes, right now. After you turn off this video, say what's the one thing that...
Get a ClickMail account and build a list.
Thanks, man. You're awesome. Thank you very much. I'm very glad to have you here. By the way, where do you live in France?
In the north with the penguins.
Yes.
Under the ice. You know?
I just watched for 2014 the World Cup. We're gonna, kick your asses and no, just kidding.
No, you're not.
All the best, man.